చెప్పండి. Hello parents and hello to all the children. We are on YouTube live streaming. This is a one-way communication. But then at the end of this session, if in case there are any parents who want to interact with me, we will share the Microsoft Teams link with you. You can join that after this session. And just in case you want any questions to be answered in an interactive way, you can unmute your mic, ask your question, and we can answer. Otherwise, you can also type your questions here in the chat box, and we shall take it up accordingly. Well, a very formal good afternoon or early evening, I must say. I hope all of you are doing well, parents. You and all your families are doing good. I hope all our kids are doing great as well. We are almost about to commence the session post the vacation. For grades 1 to 5, pretty much 1 to 8, we are looking at reopening on the 17th. And we wanted to have this session with you so that we could apprise you of the changes that we have come about this year. We all know that last year it was pretty much very sudden, the very online classes and this kind of a platform being acquainted, for students and for teachers. Now, we all thought that this is going to be there for a few months, and then later on, it got extended to few more months, and then we had the entire year through this online platform last year, and we all were very hopeful that from June onwards we'll come back to school with the kids. But again, this seems to be extending, and we are looking at this online platform as the medium for all teaching learning, perhaps for the next couple of months or maybe this entire year. None of us has any clarity as of now. But taking things, short term, we are just looking at being very well planned, because last year it was almost sudden onto us, and we just took it in our stride. Teachers have really stood the test of time, apprised themselves of all these tools, and then we also looked at seeing how best we can reach out to all of these students. So virtual platform being very new, not just for students, but also for teachers. I think both teachers and students have really kept up their pace with things and ensured that there was learning taking place. Now, coming to the new academic session, like I said, we are beginning from the 17th of June. And parents, am I audible? A thumbs up, please, if I'm audible. A thumbs up, please, parents, if I'm audible. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So 17th, that is Thursday, we are going to be beginning the session. Most probably either on Thursday or ahead of that, we will also look at having a small informal session with the children, where we have the teachers, and also the children interact with each other. Because this year we have the new teachers, not the same teachers as last year. We thought because of the online platforms and all that, maybe 1 year we'll have the same teachers, but as this is extending, we may not be able to continue with the same teacher for the third consecutive year. Therefore, there will be a change in teachers. I think in charges, I think pretty much for some classes will be the same. Just for 2 classes or 3 classes, there is a change. For grade 1, I think Swapna ma'am, who was the PCS in charge for I think PP2, she will be the in charge for grade 1 for this year, because she knows the parents, and she knows the children as well. Now, coming to, but teachers, yes, there is a change in teachers. Coming to grade 2 and 3, Ravila ma'am will be taking care. So maybe when it comes to Ravila ma'am, I think teachers for grade 2 and 3 also there is a change. Going to grade 4, Bindu ma'am will be the in charge for grade 4. Grade 5 will be Deepika ma'am. Last year, Deepika ma'am was the in charge even for grade 4. So she moved to grade 5 along with the children. However, teachers for all classes, there will be a change. All right. So I hope by now you would have received the message, broadcast message from the class teachers, from the new class teachers, saying that so and so is the class teacher. And very soon, we will also be from grade 3 and above, we'll be looking at introducing the subject teachers also, so that parents can save the numbers of the subject teachers as well. Now, the online classes last year for grades 1 to 5, we had, alternate days academics and alternate days non-academics. This year, we are looking at academics Monday to Friday. Okay, so Monday to Friday in the mornings will only be academics. In the afternoon, there will be, one slot for non-academics. And we also are looking at one more slot of non-academics on Saturdays. So Saturdays, we are looking at children logging in for non-academic activity or life skills, counseling skills. Okay. We are also looking at inviting parents this year, just in case there's any parent who has any kind of, expertise in any area that children can learn. It could be, arts and crafts, so it could be any area. They can take a guest session for the children. It will be beautiful collaboration between the school and parents as well. So we'll keep it open for parents. So just in case you're interested to take a session, it doesn't necessarily have to be for your child's grade level. Maybe if you are if you are good at knowing or what understanding what this coding is, or what machine learning is, or artificial intelligence is, you want to give an introduction to that, maybe we can schedule your session with the grades 9 and 10. Similarly, if there is something to do with nutrition, we can schedule your session, again, age appropriate. So we would want parents to take this opportunity to do a little bit of that contribution towards the students, though it is not mandatory. It's purely as per the parents' choice. So you can send a mail to me saying, to principal.pragati@gmail.com, saying that you would be interested, and we can look at having a dialogue with you. We'll have a discussion, and accordingly, we can schedule the slot of the guest lecture, whichever grade level you are comfortable with. By and large, we are looking at English as the medium, because we do have a lot of children whose mother tongue is not Telugu or Hindi. Okay, so maybe English would be good, so that all children can understand and learn something out of your guest lecture. So Saturdays, there will be no academics at all. Okay. Instead, all non-academic activities. So we will give you the schedule as and when. And we may also have it like a need-based session. For example, there is syllabus, incompletion in some particular subject. Then maybe we will ask the children to log in, and we will try to address that. But it is going to be just need-based. But if you look at it on a regular kind of a basis, it's definitely going to be non-academic on Saturdays. All right. So the timings as to when the online classes for these children will begin will be communicated to you maybe in a day or two, and children can log in accordingly. Now, when the children log into the classes, I request all parents to ensure that you encourage children to finish all their grooming activities before they log in. Okay, because we have seen in a couple of scenarios last year, just out of the bed and logged into the classroom. So I think, if that is going to be the case, I think that kind of a laziness will still continue, and children cannot learn, with the kind of pace that they have to. So when we look at, getting into whether it's a virtual classroom or actual classroom, I think that kind of a discipline and decorum has to be maintained, And parents must encourage children to get up early and attend the PE class. There will be a PE class in the mornings as usual. There's no change with the PE class. And soon after that, if they can quickly finish their, bathing, they finish their bath and, the breakfast and all that, and log in at least 5 minutes before, I think it would be, really helpful. But logging into the class, properly groomed is something that I recommend to all children. So when we ask them to log in, we are not asking the children to wear ironed clothes, but at least clean clothes and the hair properly groomed. Because we've seen children with very unkempt clothes, a very disorderly kind of a manner attending the classes. So that I think we have to look at addressing this year, both from our end and also from the parents' side. All right, and also, this year, we have made it compulsory for all children to turn on their webcams when they are attending the classes. Again, last year we have noticed that there are a lot of children who turn off the webcams and they are not actually paying attention to what the teachers are teaching, right? So even when teachers ask them to answer a question, they don't unmute the microphones and they don't even answer. So mics turned off, webcams turned off. We don't know whether the child is there with us, okay, in proper presence, listening to us or not. So these are challenges that we have faced last year. But last year we thought, it's just going to be 1 year, so let us not be too hard on the children. But again, one more year of online, teaching, learning, I think we have to address these so that, the learning gaps minimize for the students. All right. And I hope all parents would encourage children to turn on the webcams, point one, log into their classes neatly dressed, point two, okay, and ensure that proper learning is taking place. Now, I also understand that there are a lot of working parents, but at least if you can ensure that the webcams are turned on, the rest of the things perhaps we can take care. All right. Um, Also, this year we are also looking at a 10-minute slot, okay, for children, for compulsory breathing exercises. Because we all know that, or we are getting to hear from various sources that there is a third wave in store for India. And in the third wave, I think the most impacted would be children. That is what we are getting to hear. And I think at this point in time, we must not panic, because panicking is not the solution. Preparation is the key solution. So preparing our kids, firstly by giving them proper immunity boosting foods. I think pretty much immunity is, what we are all looking at as a preventive, a factor for COVID-19, because there are a lot of people, who are very much exposed, but they are not getting it. But there are a lot of people who are very closed and inside the homes, but also getting it. So I think, even if you look at the health experts, they're saying immunity is the key, to all of this. So I think you would have been following that we are sharing every day one immunity booster or one immunity boosting food through WhatsApp. Okay. And maybe in another few days, we might stop broadcasting that, but we will give you a list of immunity boosting foods that you perhaps can give your kids, on and again. So this 10-minute slot that I was talking to you about for breathing exercises and for lung capacity development exercises that we are talking about, that is going to be compulsory for all students in their live online classes. Because if we ask them to do it at home, I know that many kids don't listen to parents. In many cases, parents are also very, very busy. Okay, so we want to take the responsibility of ensuring that kids do these breathing exercises, whether it's pranayam and lung development or lung capacity building exercises. We want to do it from our end. Okay, so for this, a 10-minute slot has been created, and the teachers along with the children will do it. So we will have our yoga facilitator Geeta ma'am, who will share the video with the teachers, and the videos screen share, and then the teachers along with the children do these breathing and lung capacity development exercises in the live online classes. That besides, as soon as they finish this breathing exercises, they are supposed to be taking that immunity booster. So we will give you a list of immunity boosting foods. Anything that is available in your home, please ensure that your child brings it to the live online class, so that he or she can have soon after these breathing exercises. All right. So this is also very important, because whatever best we can do from our end, from the school's end, we want to be there to support you, right? Okay, that is about the timings. I think the online classes, we have about 3 slots this year, and I think grade 4 and 5 we might extend to one more. Okay, and coming to the breaks in between, we are not giving too much of a break like last year, because we also heard from a lot of parents that too many breaks in between, and 15 minutes and 20 minutes break, the children are getting distracted. They're moving out of this completely, and they're not logging in back on time. So this year what we have decided is, maybe we will just have a 5 to 10 minute break or less than that, so that we finish with the academics, okay, and the children get logged off. Okay, now we're also looking at giving you slots, as in slots in the sense, if at all the live online classes are done by say 12:30. Okay, and we have the academic slot, non-academic slot at say 2:30. Okay, so 12:30 to 2:30 is going to be a no gadget time. Okay, so we want parents to be with us, partner with us for these initiatives, because it is going to be helpful for the children. So when we say 12:30 the class is done, I think your children must declare the gadgets to you. They have to declare the gadgets with you, and please do not give it to them till 2:30. Okay, 2:30 is the next slot, maybe a non-academic slot. In the afternoons they could have a non-academic slot, or maybe they could have a third language, or maybe computers. Okay, so we have one slot for them in the afternoon. And again, we will give you grade wise, first standard what we have, second what we have. So this is a very, very general meeting, keeping all grades in mind, but specific to your grade level as to how the day is going to be, whether they have a non-academic slot in the afternoon, or when is it. This entire timing and timetable will be shared with you, most probably in a day or two. All right, so you will have a clarity. Now, coming to the non-academic activities, last year we had it in the evenings, and we noticed that many children, didn't show interest joining. There were few classes, that had just one child that who logged in, and but still teachers, logged in for that one child and ensured that non-academic activity was done. But this year, because it's going to be around 2:30, at least we want parents to ensure kids do that, because immunity boosting food is not the only solution for immunity. I think good physical activity is equally or more important. So now the children are locked up in the houses, they do not have time to go out, or the kind of space to go out. So we are looking at doing these non-academic activities even this year. But this year I think we want children to participate in large numbers. Now, last year, for every 2 cards, we had, one non-academic card. This year, we are going to have just one non-academic card through Microsoft Teams, okay, for the entire grade 1. So if I say grade 1, all the children, irrespective of whichever section, they all join the same card. So sometimes the card might be full. If all children join, it might be full, okay, or maybe if not all joining, at least it will be a minimum of 50 or 60. Okay, so we're not going to be having section wise non-academics unlike last year. The entire grade 1 will be accommodated in one card, Microsoft Teams card. So please remember, parents, when we say academics, we are going to be using Google Classroom's platform, and when we say non-academics, we'll be using the Microsoft Teams platform. And why we are using Microsoft Teams is because in Google platform we cannot accommodate more than 100 students. Okay, so we are looking at Google Classrooms for academics, and for non-academics, we are right now looking at Microsoft Teams. So we will share the links with you. Even the Teams link also will be shared with you. Now, coming to the strength of the classes, last year we had around 60 students per class card. Okay, because like I said, it was all of a sudden, and we did not. And we also, in the beginning for grade 9 and 10 last year, when we had 30 students and one teacher, we faced these technical problems that teachers had. If at all the internet connectivity was not good, the teacher would get cut off, and there would be that class without any teacher. So just to ensure that there is a backup teacher, we put two classes together, two sections together with 60 students, and we ensured that there were two teachers in the class. Now, this year, what we are thinking is, since there's going to be one more year of this online, most probably one full year, I don't know, or anything less, but whatever it is, we want to, look at, more seriousness in our planning in what we can do for our students. Now, so this year, unlike last year, where we had 60 students per class, this year we have brought it down to around 45. Okay, so 45 is going to be the strength for non-academic classes, again with two teachers. So there will be a presenter, a teacher who is teaching, and there will also be an observer. And we also have recruited additional staff this year to ensure that the strength is minimized, and also to ensure that we have observers in place. And this year we have instructed the observers, that means the teachers who are on observation for that particular class, they must also turn on the webcams and supervise. So the child will see two teachers there, one who is presenting and also the one who is observing. Okay, so the observer's responsibility is to ensure that he or she flips through the screen and see if all children are paying attention or not. That's point one. Point two is whether there is anything going on the chat box. Okay, and just in case the teacher is trying to reach out to someone and there's no response. Okay, so all of these things will be addressed by the observer, and taking the attendance, all of these things the observer's responsibilities are. And the teacher is only focused towards that seamless teaching. All right, so this is what we are looking at this year when it comes to the class strength. And we have also increased the academic slots, like I told you. Unlike last year, alternate days, this year it's going to be every day, Monday to Friday. And Saturday, no academics at all. Okay. Now, any messages that you get from the school side, we request parents to pay attention to those messages. Now, there are two ways of getting messages from the school. One is through the teacher, through the class teacher, and the other is from the school office. Okay. Now, if it is from the school office, it's usually the normal SMS. We don't send any broadcast message from the school office. At least so far, we have not. Now, all school updates in respect to, or with respect to academics, non-academics, children, all this will be, through the class teacher. So by now, since you have already received the class teacher, the new class teacher's name and contact number, I'm just hoping that you would have already saved it by now. Because if you don't save it, you will not be able to receive any updates from the class teacher. Okay, so one more reminder to parents: please save the class teacher's number so that you can get the updates of the of what's happening in the classes. Now, the other way of communication is, yes, from the school. Okay, usually from the school, you may not get this academic activities and all that. Usually the fee reminders, just in case there are parents who have not paid the fee, or maybe anything else, maybe parents who have not submitted TC of the previous school or not submitted Aadhaar card. So this kind of communication may happen from the school office, because we do not want any teachers to know which parents did not pay the fee. Okay, so when it comes to fee, the communication is only through the school and not through the WhatsApp. So we are looking at all parents saving the teachers' numbers so that you can be in proper connect with the school communication. Now, we are also looking at, the week ahead log continuing. You know that we started the week ahead logs. So this week ahead log is pretty much the platform for all parents to understand what the week ahead is going to look like in the live online class. All right. So that will give you, pretty much an idea as to what is going to be happening in terms of academics. Okay. In terms of assessments, in terms of, activities, whatever may be the case. Okay. So that will apprise you of all of the schools' live online classes, academics. Okay. And other updates as such. We are still going to continue with the video recorded lessons. You know that we are doing, both synchronous as well as asynchronous classes. So when I say synchronous, the live online classes, when I say asynchronous, we are still going to be sending the video recorded lessons, to all the students and parents, so that children can log in and revisit the concept whenever they want and for how many ever number of times they want. Okay. Um, Also this year, we are looking at a very very strict kind of a policy when it comes to written work and notes completion. So it could be notes completion or homework completion. Last year we were a little easy on the children, but this year we thought we must be stringent. So for that, what we have discussed and decided is, if at all, for example, I'm the science teacher or the English teacher for your child, and I have given them notes to complete, or maybe I've given them an assignment or homework to do, and I said that Wednesday is the date of submission. All right. So before Wednesday, or maybe latest by Tuesday, I think by Tuesday they have to submit the work. And if at all the work is not submitted, the child will be denied access to attend the next English class or science class. Okay, so we want to be very strict with this policy, and I hope it is going to be accepted by the parents as well, because we have seen last year quite a few students just did not do the written work. And if we are going to look at one more year where we are not going to be looking at stringent on completion of written work, by the time children get back to the physical classes, I'm sure they're going to be losing touch with the speed, time management, and the very formation of letters also in that script. Okay, so I want all parents to understand, if at all your child has not completed the work and he has been denied the access for the class, the next science class, or whichever class, we want you to understand that we are doing this only keeping in mind the prospects of the child. All right. And that particular concept which the child has missed will not be taught again. Okay, we are not going to be revisiting that once again. Instead, they can still browse through the video recorded lesson. Okay, and if there are doubts, any specific doubts, we can look at addressing that later with the children. But I think that discipline of completing work, okay, that accountability of submitting work, this is what we have to inculcate in children right from a very young age. Okay, and we have noticed that in grade 9 and 10 we started this, and there has been a tremendous response. Okay, we have heard from parents say that the whole of last year my child did not even touch his notebook and do anything with regards to writing, but this year with this one stringent policy, we see that our children are on task with their written work, which means to say that if the note submission is to happen on Wednesday and the child has forgotten, early Wednesday morning, okay, whether it is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, also the child is getting up, completing it, submitting it. So I think that is important. All right. While we understand that we have to be there for kids, we must also understand that we have to be firm for their future. Okay, so that is with regards to the notes. And in case, let us say I'm the class teacher and I have 45 students and I teach English in your child's class, and I noticed that 15 students did not submit the work. So maybe in the lower classes, maybe grade 1, 2, 3 level, need based, we might ask the teachers to log in to the classroom maybe in the afternoon. So I, as a teacher of grade 1, I will say these 15 students did not complete the work, so I want all of you to log in to the class in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'm going to be there, you are going to be there, we are going to sit and complete the notes together, and you're going to upload it. Okay, so these are things that we want to formulate. So even the teachers will follow up systematically. Okay, and we will also ensure that we deny the access so that children also understand that they have to complete. And particularly in the lower classes, children do not want and would not want to miss a class. So I'm sure that this is going to help them stay on task. All right. Okay. Now coming to the assessments, we brought in a little bit of a change for assessments also, because we've noticed that last year with this online kind of assessments, I know in little ones it's very difficult for them to perhaps resort to malpractices. I don't know if they are that smart, but at least in middle school and upper middle school classes, we've seen that children who were pretty much average, scored very very high marks in the online assessments. So that could be because of the pressure that they have from the parents to show them the marks and the scores. So they might be getting distracted to resort to malpractices, is what we feel. Though we cannot blame the children, still, we must look at certain policies in place to ensure that children do not get into this kind of a short route for success, because they might show you the scores, but the learning gaps will remain. Yes, parents? Okay. So this year, what we are looking at, I think just before the vacation, we gave you a trial round of what an oral assessment is like. So we're going to start the oral assessments for the children. Okay. And maybe if it is going to be a 40 marks paper for grades 1 2, or 60 marks paper for 4 5, we are going to be looking at a good 20 marks for oral tests. So when we say oral test, what we're going to be doing is the teacher will log in, the child will log in, okay, and the teacher will have a set of questions with her, and she will ask, and the child has to then and there answer. Okay, so that way we will understand how far the child has been studying, whether he's able to follow the concepts. Okay, and we get to know where the child actually stands in the learning process. Okay, so this oral test will be made compulsory now, and it is compulsory for the child to log in through a camera, because we want to see the child. Okay, when I'm asking the child has to look at me and answer. Okay, and we will ensure from our end that they don't deviate from us. There has to be no support material if it is a math test. Okay, a face-to-face math test also, they cannot have any support material like calculators and things like that, phones. Okay, so we are looking at trying our best to ensure that we make children actually get back to the books as much as possible. So for this, even when it comes to writing notes, I think last year some teachers have shared PDF and children have actually copied from the screen to the notebook. So this year, we are not going to be sending any PDF notes to the children. Okay. Instead, we are going to have them mark the answers in the textbook during the live online class. So if it's going to be lesson number 1 and we have the questions, by and large, usually what we tell children is we want you to read the lesson, mark the questions, and come back next day. And the next day, there's going to be a review as to what questions the children have been able to answer. So if there is a textbook like this, the teacher will say the first question, okay, and the first answer to the first question is maybe page number 54 or 35, and you have the first paragraph, okay, sentence number 3 from here to here. So they have to bracket from here to here, and this process will help them to connect with the textbook once again. So they will not, we are trying our best. Any homeworks that we give also, we do not want them to depend on gadgets. Okay, so by and large, all homeworks, notes, assignments, everything will be from the textbook. So that apart from the live online classes, okay, children do not have to go back to their gadgets again. So that is what we are trying to do. And we also have to keep in mind, as much as social distancing is important, digital distancing is also important or more important, because we have noticed that invariably children have got addicted to gadgets, though we have no way out, because the teaching learning has become virtual, and we have given them gadgets. Somewhere children are overusing the gadgets. So unless we come up formulate certain policies like this, certain initiatives which are again taken into strict consideration by parents, wherein you ensure, when we say 12:30 to 2:30 is the digital distance time or no gadget time, I think that kind of seriousness has to be taken even by the parents. Okay, so from our side, we can formulate initiatives, we can talk to children, we can counsel them, but eventually, if there is no supervision from the parent, you don't have to do anything. You just have to tell the child 12:30 you're done with your class, you have to declare your gadget, you have to give back your gadget to me. So if they're using laptops or desktops, please password it and open it only at 2:30 again when they have the next class. Okay, and maybe they will need the gadget once again in the evening to upload their homework. Okay, so 1 hour in the evening, maybe around 6 to 7, or you can set a time that is convenient to you, parents. Okay, so 1 hour in the evenings where they can upload their assignments onto Google Classroom. Okay, so this is what we are looking at, and we hope that all parents stay aligned with these initiatives, so that we ensure our children are as much as possible growing without too much of screen addiction. All right. Yeah. The next point, for discussion is, just in case your children are going to be absent, okay, for any reason, please send a small message to your child's class teacher, saying that my child will be on leave so and so time to so and so time, or may not be able to attend the class so and so time. Okay. This heads up is necessary for us. Okay. So that we are also, in the loop as to why the child has not turned up. Now, I also understand that many children are attending classes through desktops. So, initially, right away, they may not have webcams, but I would still recommend parents to purchase webcams, because that is the best possible way to supervise if your child is, in tune with the learning process. Because if that webcam is procured and the child is made to turn on the webcam, the rest we can take care. Okay, even if you are not around, we can take care, because we have for every class a presenter, the teacher who is teaching, and also an observer. Now, for the oral tests also, just in case, the slot that was assigned maybe for your child, the child is not able to log in during that time. You can look at having the child. Maybe you can request the teacher for an alternate time, so that the oral test is conducted later. And all oral tests for all subjects will be conducted ahead of the written test. So let us say we have the formative assessments coming up. First, we will have the oral test, and after that, we will schedule the written test. So that way, what happens is, when we say oral test, definitely the children will study. Okay, they will definitely study, because it's going to be a one-on-one, or pretty much the teacher is going to be watching them, and they have to answer then and there. So children will definitely study, and this preparation will hold good. Okay, even for the written test. All right. Okay. Now, grade 1 to 5 classes. Just in case any parent has any concern with the child's learning, okay, or any concern that matter, we don't have to necessarily wait for a parent teacher meeting. We can definitely look at organizing a call with the parent. But only thing is that you can send a message to the class teacher, or maybe you want to speak to the science teacher. Just send a message saying, ma'am, I would like to take 5 minutes of your time to discuss my child's progress in this particular subject. So the teacher also will look up her calendar and see when she is relatively free, and will find out if that timing would be suitable for you. So at whatever it is, the a mutually convenient time will be looked at to have that interaction with you, to see how we can support the child. All right. And you also know that during this 1 month of vacation, or maybe 1.5 months of vacation, teachers have been constantly in touch with your children, whether it is birthdays, or a little friendly talks, chatting sessions. I think all of this they were trying their best to do, right? And at this point in time, I must definitely appreciate every single teacher for crossing many milestones in trying to do their best for the students. And at this point, I must also tell you, there were so many teachers who were COVID affected last year. And many of them, though they were approved paid leave for 2 weeks, many of them have not even taken leave, because they wanted to be there for the students. So I sincerely appreciate all of these teachers, also on behalf of the parents. Even in the summer vacation also, we had a lot of teachers and the complete families affected with COVID. But all of us, our fellow teachers, we all have been there to see how much of a support we can give each other during these very testing and trying times. So I'm just hoping that all the teachers, in fact, we also tried to get the teachers vaccinated. So we arranged for a vaccination drive for all our teachers, and whoever hasn't got their vaccination done, even that we have facilitated, so that teachers take good care of their health, and they give their best to the students. So by and large, this is what we have from our end, I think we have briefed you about all of these points. The timings we will give you separately. Okay. The slots we told you that in the mornings it's going to be only this. Okay, only academics, and Saturdays will be guest talk or non-academic counseling sessions. All of these we're going to be looking at in the on the Saturdays. Okay, and one non-academic slot in the afternoon. Okay, and also one slot compulsory for breathing exercises. Okay, and lung capacity development exercises, followed by ensuring that the children have that immunity booster. All right. I'm just trying to see if I can come across some questions here on the chat box. Yeah, I see one or two questions on the fee. Okay, fee is the same. Okay, I think before holidays, the fee was communicated as, yeah, the fee was communicated, the fee structure was communicated before vacation. So as of now, it stands the same. Okay, and there have been quite a few parents who still did not pay the last year's fee, and few parents who did not even pay the fee of 2018-19 also. So requesting parents to kindly look into that, and you know that as a school we do not want to do anything that can affect the morale of the child. So in fact, there was one parent who asked me in the previous session, are all teachers getting full salaries? And sadly I had to say no, because the fee payment to a large extent is not happening like the way it is happening in most schools. And in one or two couple of with couple of my principal friends, when I spoke, one or two of them said that we were able to get, because we are making frequent calls to the parents. And one or two also mentioned that they have denied the access of the online classes, which we cannot do as a policy. We have never done it. Even during the physical setting of the class, we have never sent fee reminders to the parents through the children's diary, because we do not want any child to know whether the parent has paid or not paid. We feel it is the responsibility of the parent, and the child does not need to know about it. And so we've been trying to make gentle phone calls and send reminders to parents. If at all there are parents who, for whatever reason, could not pay, I would suggest them to come and meet the management, explain what the situation is, buy a little more time. But we need to know, that we need to know as to, by when you can come and meet them at least. All right. That besides, we're also not a school that would want to stop the access to online class. And when your child actually asks you, why am I not able to log in, we do not want that kind of very, very embarrassing situation between the parent and the child. So we have not done it even last year. Okay, even the years prior also, we have never done something like this, and we will never do as a school something like this. We will never do. But I would definitely urge parents to look at it as a priority, because that there are many teachers who are dependent on these salaries also. That besides, you can also look at maybe, if at all the amount can be given in terms of month-wise payments. Even that you can look at. Okay, so whether it's month-wise or whichever way that's convenient to your financial situation, please try to pay, because that will definitely uphold so many teachers' families. And also we have so many support staff. We have not asked even a single person to leave the school. I think we have already explained this last year, and even now we are explaining. We have not asked any teacher to leave, neither any support staff also to leave. Everyone is on the rolls. Okay, and we are trying to manage with whatever best. But again, I must also say that I must thank the parents. Particularly, we had this situation during this vacation. One of our music teachers, Mr. Vincent, his mother was hospitalized, and he needed financial support. So we did a little bit of a crowdfunding. We posted it on our statuses, and so many parents across PCK, PCJ, and PCS campuses were so generous. They have contributed, and they have really supported this family, because this boy is all of 24, 25 years old. He's an excellent music teacher. Children simply love him. Okay, and he doesn't have a father. Okay, so he is the only, pretty much the breadwinner for the family. And after all the contributions that we could make from our parents, and I know many parents have shared this with their friends, their families. So all in all, there was an immense response that we could get. And his mother, Vincent's mother, has been discharged. She's recovering now at home. So she made a call to me and she said, "Ma'am, I am totally indebted to Team Pragati, and I did not think that I will be alive to see my children again." So that was very, very touching. So parents, thank you so much for enabling this family to stand strong once again. I must also thank parents who supported one of my teachers, Srilata, whose brother was admitted in the hospital due to a big mishap, in the sense an accident, okay, a gruesome accident. And he's also recovering. So we thank all of you for all of this support, because there are a lot of teacher families who need that kind of support, and these salaries are definitely important to them. Okay, so please pay as per your financial comfort, whether it's even month-wise, it's okay, but requesting you to kindly, pay up your children's fee. I'm talking to those who did not or could not. Okay. And if you need to come and speak to the management also, please come and talk to the management. Let them know what your financial condition is. Discounts, so far they have not given anybody any kind of discount, because they always believe parents who come, and ask, we cannot give. But at the same time, there are so many parents who have difficulties, but they're still trying to pay. So management is actually giving time, for the payment, that they're extending the time, but discounts so far they have not given anybody. And one more very proud thing that I would want to share with all of you is, I think by now many of you know that our PCJ campus, juniors campus, has been taken as an isolation center. So I mean, there are a lot of families, below middle class families, who are living in just one room houses. And if one person gets a COVID attack, we are certain that the other people have no place to go. So there is this isolation unit that the management, has created, and it's actually doing very, very good service, to the community. So we all must definitely feel proud. We are part of this kind of a management who are very philanthropic and always there to support, wherever, whenever required. All right. So parents, this much from me for the moment, but a few questions that when can we expect offline classes? I wish I really could answer this question. Parents, we are we are longing, we are waiting for children to get back, and we want to, as much as possible, plunge into the classrooms and take up our classes as usual. But as of now, we really do not know from when these offline classes will begin. If the child has technical issues during the class, okay, if the child has any technical issue, you can always revert to the teacher. Please send a message. You have all the teachers numbers with you by now. Please send the teachers a message, and they will definitely come back and see how they can support the child. Okay. Well, I think during the classes, there definitely is that little bit of light moments also, because we are trying to make the classes very interactive, very activity based. Okay, so even this year also we are trying to see how we can put in more activities for children, so that they don't have that boredom. So hopefully it's going to definitely get better. All right, and yeah, I think there's this question: teachers should, yeah, when we mark the questions and answers in the textbook, we will make sure that every child marks it also, so that they go back and they copy from the textbook to the notebook. The whole intention is to give them the writing practice. If they don't have that writing practice, then definitely it's going to affect the child. Second thing is, it's not only about transferring data from the textbook to notebook, but when they're actually writing the notes, they're actually reviewing the concepts once again. So we also should not forget that point. They're reviewing the concepts once again when they're actually writing the notes. So this is the reason why we are saying completion of notes and homeworks is compulsory. All right. So parents, that much from me for now. Okay. And we are also going to, I think by now, I think the teachers would have shared the Microsoft Teams link with you. Um, so those parents who have any questions and you want the session to be interactive, you can join me there. Okay. And we will ensure that we answer the questions for you. Those of you who have no questions, it's all right. But those of you who still have questions and you want it interactive, as in voice based, you want to ask and you want me to answer, then we will log into the Microsoft Teams card, which your teachers have shared with you. Uh, I mean, please give me a thumbs up if your teachers have shared the link with you. You didn't get? Can you share your child's teacher's name, please? If you can share your child's teacher's name, class teacher's name. Okay. Okay, some are saying no. If you can share the child's class teacher's name, we can just remind them. Pardon? Namita. Okay, I think my teachers are also here. Namita, if you can quickly share the link with your students. Kavita also. Kavita, please share the link. Instead of saying no, please share the teacher's name so that we can ask them to share it with you. Pallavi, requesting all the in-charges to kindly forward the Microsoft Teams link to their teachers so that the teachers can share it with the parents. I have a question here. This year the classes same as last year. No, the classes are not same as last year. This year we have academics on all the days, Monday to Friday. And non-academics, we have one slot in the afternoon and one more slot on Saturday. Purnima ma'am, Shiny ma'am, requesting all in charges to share the link, please. The Microsoft Teams link. Okay, so parents, so far, I'm hoping that I was able to convey these points clear to you. So far, all the points clear, parents. I want 2 thumbs up because one is for the Microsoft Teams link and 2 for the clarity, whether you were able to, understand whatever we discussed. 2 thumbs up, please. All right. I'm getting even 3. Good. Great. Thank you very much, Huma. Great. So those of you parents who have questions and want that interactive, session, please log into the link. I'll see you there in the next 1 or 2 minutes. All right, parents. Thank you very, very much for joining us for this session. And we will keep, posting the updates to you, the timings of the classes, how many slots your child has, okay, and all of that. We only hope that particularly from your end, we need your support, for having the children complete work. Even if they don't complete, it's fine. But, denying the online access will definitely help your child complete the work is what we are thinking. Two is turning on their webcams. That will really ensure that the children focus on the classes. Okay. And the oral assessments. Okay. We need the children to focus and study. So we have these oral assessments also this year. All right. So thank you so much, parents. Wishing you all a very, very fruitful year ahead, and wishing all my teachers a great year too. Children, hope you have a very, very engaging year this year too. And we are all with you to help you in your learning process. And hopefully, by the end of the year, we find this year to be very, very rewarding. All right. So thanks, parents, to all of you for attending this session. And I want to wish all of you stay safe. Okay. And my deep condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. And when it comes to our children and the families, whatever support you require from us, we are more than willing to reach out to you. Thanks to all of you, parents. And those parents who don't have any questions, then you need not log in there. But if you have questions, you can come there and we can address those questions. Thanks to all of you, parents. Wishing you a great Sunday evening ahead. So, with your permission, I will just end this live streaming. Thanks once again. Bye, children. Take good care of yourselves and don't trouble your parents.